Yes, since you attempted, in fact, you went to the elections, let me put it that way, and unfortunately you didn't succeed. What have you been doing now for your people since then?
So, but Lofa County has always been a county that I've loved. It's so dear to me. Irrespective of my ambitions to lead my people at the level of the Senate, I've always tried to go back to Lofa and do those things I can do that will impact Lofians. The most important thing is Lofians will be happy, and I should be able to provide my expertise in whatever form, whether it's my financial, whether it's my skills, whether it's my leadership ability, whatever it is that I will provide for my county to benefit. I've always been, delighted to do that. Right now, I'm serving as the chairperson of the steering committee for the Lofa County Sports Association. In fact, the superintendent has put it different. It said general chairperson of the steering committee. So we are working to enable our people participate in the upcoming county meet. We are thinking that Lofa, under our leadership, took the county meet for the first time. They took a trophy in football and kickball. So I mean, in succession. So we're thinking that coming back again, we are doing everything possible to make history. But again, it's about the
On a
defense.
specific note, I'm asking because there are individuals, some individuals who go to that county and go into elections, and unfortunately they don't win. They abandon the people. They don't go back there. They don't even initiate any sort of project. Do you have something of that nature there?
Well, those are people who just want political power in the county. For me, it's not. I've been back in Lofa County for the last 15, 16 years. Yeah, it's not about political party. It's about I feel pleasure, I feel good working for my people and giving my people relief in whatever I can do. So I've been going back home with our scholarship scheme. We have been helping the women. Just on Saturday, we had a group of women that got graduated from on Saturday, over 300 women. So making we're there to support them. We gave them hope. We have additional intentions to empower them. We've been talking about student leadership. We've been talking about scholarship. We have given scholarships to like Lofians, students. So we don't want to say everything we've been doing like we're boasting, but in our DNA, it's all about Lofa. Whatever we can do for Lofa in order to have people to benefit, we'll do it. We're not doing it because we want to be a senator. We did it 16 years ago, but we're not even thinking about being a senator. Even the issue of the elections, I was asked, I was pleaded with to go. I mean, I can help Lofa in whatever it is, whether at the level of the Senate, whether at the level of sport, whether at the level of community development, women empowerment. When it comes to Lofa, it's in my DNA. I will do whatever I can do.
What is your own analysis of the performance of your new senator, in fact, who was elected just quite recently, elected over you?
Well, quite frankly, I haven't seen anything of him yet. Maybe he's still learning because the Senate is a huge place to learn. But I haven't actually heard anything that he has done to benefit Lofa. So, interestingly, I can't say anything much about him because I haven't seen anything of him in a positive way.
But have you gone to Lofa to ask your people? Yes, indeed, you elected somebody. What's the contribution of the person so far now?
Well, I haven't been asking people. I have been monitoring him. I don't. We are Lufians. I don't have to ask somebody. I mean, we all in the political space, so you will want to know what your opponent is doing, or what your colleague is doing, or what your brother or sister is doing. So I don't have to ask anybody. But I think he needs to do more than he's doing now. I'm just encouraging him. Like I said, it could be a learning curve for him. It's a new place, but we haven't seen much of him yet.
Now you are concerned about the way Lofa is treated, especially often in your own words on the development of the county. Mr. MOMO CYRUS, why are you so keen on that? Why do you make it a major concern for you?
But look at Lofa County and see the kind of caliber of people that comes from Lofa. If you look at even this government, previous government, the composition of those governments are not largely Lofians. But what is Lofa getting back as a dividend from our brothers and sisters who have hailed from that county are in national government? Not only that, we are in the political space. Lofa still lacking behind in terms of development. Look at our roads. It became inaccessible during the rainy season. It's a shame. It's an embarrassment. And when I was contesting, I told people, if you give me political power, in 6 months' time, I was going to make that road pliable. It wasn't that I was going to use my own money. I was going to use my leadership skills, my networking skills, and my ability to knock doors. But Lofa is lacking behind when it comes to development. It's practical. It's not something I'm seeing. It's visible. I mean, that county that is so industrious, and we are still backward. We are having problems with roads. Our products are spoiling. Our marketeers are very discouraged. Our farmers are discouraged. Prices hacking in there because the roads are inaccessible and people are suffering. Look, tell me, it's unimaginable. It's wrong. Lufians needs to recalibrate. They need to put on their thinking cap. We need to go back to Lofa. We need to do whatever we can do to make sure that that county can be like Niba County or Grand Bassa or other counties in the country. Lofa is lacking behind. It's not anything for us to be proud about. And as a son of Lofa, somebody who believes in Lofa so much, I think we'll have to change the narratives.
Now, you wanted to change the narratives. That's the reason why you went into the elections. Unfortunately, you didn't make it at all. And Councillor Joseph Jara was elected over you and others. Now, do you see the situation get described concerning Lofa? Do you see that being endless? Do you see that being endless, or do you see any sort of solution in sight in the near future?
It's a hopeless situation until Lofians can decide to change the kind of leadership, or the leaders that are there decide to rethink their own developmental agenda, and Lofa will remain as it is, because we have had leaders who have been there for over 10 years. I mean, what have they done? What impact have they done? What are we benefiting as Lofians? So if we have to change the narrative, the leaders, it's two ways. The leaders who are presently managing the county, who are leaders in the country, has to rethink.
But your own uncle, maybe if I could put it that way, because I'm sure many of you from that end, you call each other uncle, especially those who are your seniors. Your own uncle was in the office for 12 unbroken years as vice president. Do you regret, Lofa being in a situation, sort of with the level of the country he reached?
It's not a matter of being regret. I'm not regret. I'm saying we haven't done better as Lofians. I'm not talking about our uncle, the vice president, Honorable Joseph Boakai. I'm talking about Lofians. Joseph Boakai was not the only vice president. We had Clarence. We had Dr. Modiba. Ambassador Modiba, who was vice president of Summit Keto. We have got leaders. Generally speaking, from my own personal analysis, Lofi has not done well in order to make sure that county remains separate. I'm not just talking about from a vice president.
When you talk about Lofians that have been doing well,
I'm talking about Lofians.
Are you making reference to the citizens there or the leaders that have been coming?
I'm talking about the leaders. The leaders are the ones who give us that direction.
They've disappointed the citizens there.
I can say yes, considering the number of years we've been considered as a county since 1964 and looking at the developmental strive, we Lofians has not done well. I can't be very honest. I can't be brutally honest about this. I have to speak the bitter truth, not the sweet lies. I've always said Lofians needs to recalibrate.
And you don't think there's any transformation inside soon, even with the new leadership that has been put in place there, the new senator who was even elected. You don't think there's any transformation inside for Lofa County?
Well, I need to see it. As I sit here, I haven't seen it yet. We need, I'm speaking in terms of encouraging Lofians, right? I'm not trying to downgrade or trying to disrespect the Lofians. I'm saying, hey, we can't keep, looking at our county like a second guest. We need to prioritize it. So Lofians needs to go back home. We need to take our boots, get into the soil. We need to, get a better leadership. Think about people most rather than our personal self. And we get better. We got very good people that comes from Lofa. Very educated people that comes from Lofa. But we just need to look at Lofa as a project and being able to say, look, in the next 5 years, we got to move this country from this place to that place. It got to be done by unity. That's what, even during my campaign, I spoke about unity. And to do this, we got to forget about lower Lofa, upper Lofa. We got to forget about tribes. We got to forget about all the vices that divide us. Let's hold ourselves as local. When it comes to the political arena, we can all discuss our politics based on our own ideology and belief. But when it comes to local, let's do it as a unified force.
What do you hear from the people when you go there, and especially with the abandonment you heard? I mean, you are talking about now. What do you hear from the citizens?
People are disappointed. People say that they elect leaders who have made a lot of promises to them, and they just turn their back when they get elected. That even when I was campaigning, those were things that came across my campaign line. Look, we elect people, they come and say all the fine things here. As soon as they get elected, we don't see them anymore. That's discouraging. You can ask for political power, and the people give it to you, you don't have the dividends, don't go back to them. It's disappointing, and I think it's a disservice to the people. That is the main thing I've overheard. People not going back after they make so huge promises to the people, they're not going back to implement those promises or to live up to the expectation of the promises. That is sad, and we politicians now have to stop that. If you commit yourself, that's why say little and do more. Don't say more and do little. Do little. I mean, do more and say little. But people are promising. I mean, things that they can't do, and put the citizen hope very high, and they just dash the hope of the citizen.
You sound so passionate about your people. You seem to love your citizens. So, did you regret it in recent, outcome of the elections?
Well, I did not regret it because it's a process. I am sure. Maybe it was my first time in elections, like most people said. We're looking at another opportunity if the need arises. The people of Lofa decide this time around. Because I've always said, it's not for me. So I have the opportunity to eat twice a day, right? I don't have to be a senator to survive, right? If I went to the Senate, I would only be giving my own support. I'm not going there for the money to make. I'm not going there for the salary or the per diem. I'm going there to impact my people. So, trust me, my passion about that county is to give back and make sure that we can, graduate from where we are, and then make example with other counties, like I've covered Niba and Basa, other counties. Lofa keep it lacking behind. It's disappointing.
Now, let me ask you, what do you think is responsible, Mr. MOMO CYRUS, especially, where the county has been producing a lot of leaders, people who are very influential, yet the county is still in that, state. What do you think is responsible?
Lack of willpower. The willpower to develop where you come from. The willpower to see that the people who elected you or the people who you represent are people who